Welcome back to your favorite convention-related podcast, Con Job. This week, me and Jeremy are going to be doing a show together. Dylan was busy, so he couldn't join us. But we just do some weekend update. We talk about some of the pricing for some VIP tickets at Megacon that just came out and apparently sold out in like a minute. We talk about expanded show floors and their effect that we think it would have on the con, for vendors and attendees alike. And then some other random stories that you would probably find pretty interesting, but maybe not. Enjoy. Without further ado, we are now 2 this week. Dylan is busy, apparently, and Jeremy looks busy, too, as he wanders around the show floor. Where are you?
We got a little bit going on. We're out here at Fan Expo Cleveland. It's, as
How's
of
the weather?
recording, surprisingly not too bad. It was kind of miserable yesterday. We've been here since Monday. We left straight from Indy.
I was gonna say, let's go through your weekend or your week, because you had an interesting.
So I mean, it's like I think saving us 19 hours of driving, something like that, by just coming straight to Cleveland from Indy. So we did that for some reason. We've just been in Cleveland since Monday. So we've been kind of tourists. Monday, I think we went to we've done like the Natural History Museum, stuff that we normally wouldn't do. But we've got the kid with us and being tourists. And actually, the weather's been super cooperative. So I am ready to get back home because it's warmer there. But outside of that, it's been good. It's been a long week. I think total, by the time we make it home, is going to be about 13 days on the road.
That's not so bad when you're across the sea, but when you're on this side of the pond.
You take me back to Japan. I'll be cool with 13 days. That's like a minimum.
You'd be fine with 13 years.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
What about you? What do you got going on?
Well, this weekend we have our booth at Cleveland there, and there's one at Planet. So if you're at either of those, stop by and say hello to Karina and Sadie at either one. Maybe you'll walk by there and you can get them on camera for those watching on YouTube. But so what's the show floor look like right now? It's 6:45 on the Friday that we're recording this, 6:45 p.m.
Coming up on the end of Friday, and it's honestly pretty packed out for a Friday. I would say traffic's been good. It took a long time for the room to get like this, though. One thing I do appreciate is the show floor is kind of tight. So when the people are in here, you're getting, it looks like people are in here, right? So it's not so spread out. People are having a good time. Everybody's been in a really good mood, a lot of high spirits. So I think so far we're calling it a successful Friday.
Okay. Sales wise, looks okay so far.
Sales, I mean, it's Friday. We're rocking for Friday. We're doing pretty good. I do like, for everybody that hasn't been here, the show is very square, or rectangle. So it's going straight. When you go to the front, there's a red carpet, takes you all the way back into Artist Alley. So everybody in Artist Alley is getting a good view. All right, we are making one stop. Sorry, everybody that's listening. If you watch on YouTube, you can see Ryan's pretty booth. So actually, I just went down to one of the main aisles and going into Artist Alley, and Artist Alley's packed out. I think everybody so far should be doing okay. Like I said, it's Friday, so I think this is a good sign for the rest of the weekend.
Okay. All right. So where were we? We had a couple of topics that we wanted to hit up on.
Yeah.
So we did the weekend update, right? So the big one, I guess, in terms of cost.
So this thing came across a couple of posts on Facebook where Megacon did their VIP ticket sales, and apparently sold out instantly at $600 a pop. And I just I would like to say I can't believe it, but I totally can. My thing is, what are we doing? What are
So
we doing?
I'm actually on their site now, just trying to see. So it includes, and I quote, admission to all 4 days of Megacon Orlando. That's nice. That's a
All right,
bonus. Show
that's
floor access. Show floor access, which is the
hey,
same as
with your
admission, isn't it?
tickets, you get show floor access. Yeah,
I was
maybe.
gonna say with your ticket
Yeah,
you get the ability to walk through the turnstile.
that's coming next.
Yeah. Panel
Separate
rooms and
admission.
theater access, which apparently is everybody can do that. Am I wrong? It's in
Uh,
that first come
I
first
don't
serve.
believe so. I do know,
No.
like New York has like premium panels or something like that. I don't know, but
Okay.
that
Well,
is a thing that
there
is
better be
happening.
something premium that comes with that. It just says so. It does say panel room theater access with a star next to it. I can't find what the star means right now, but I'll keep looking.
I do
You get a
know
souvenir badge.
a souvenir badge
It better be made. It better be gold plated.
is okay. I mean, it's typically they just do the regular badge, but just with a different print on it. It says
Yeah. Well,
VIP.
that's the souvenir.
But that, yeah, I mean,
Hang on. Now
also all
there's a
normal
lot more.
things.
Go ahead. What were you gonna say? Oh,
Look
nice.
at that
Where'd you get
banner.
that
Look at
banner?
that banner. That's a sick banner.
Where'd you get that thing? That's nice.
Hit up Premier Event Printing for all your banner needs.
For all your pep needs. I like it. Don't be
Yeah,
shy.
everything. What else? What else we got
So
included?
there's priority entrance, access to
Okay, yeah,
special preview on Thursday at 2 p.m., which is basically VIP access or VIP hours. Head
yeah.
start to the show floor at 9:30 on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, which again VIP hours.
I'd say
Exclusive
that's the same
VIP
thing as VIP
lounge,
hours.
yeah, exclusive VIP lounge access. Complimentary bag and coat check in the lounge. VIP
I mean,
virtual concierge. VIP priority
okay,
access to the main theater.
that
Express
actually,
pass. Oh, here we
that,
go. Express pass for celebrity autograph and photo op areas. Now
yeah. I mean, I think
that
that's
could
the
be
big
huge.
one for a lot of people. The
Right,
VIP line access and the VIP panel access to me are the two big selling points. Getting out onto the floor early is good, but you're on at that point you're running to autographs. I think most people that I've
right,
seen with a VIP badge
right.
head straight to autographs, which is
Oh, here we go.
understandable.
Here we go.
And
Your next show is on us. Free general admission to all future Fan Expo headquarter events. Until but not including MegaCon 2027. So you get another
so
free. So you get a free weekend pass to another show, which they don't have anymore in Florida. So unless you're traveling, that's not great. First right to
that would be
renew VIP package for Orlando 2027.
yeah, that's a thing. I know there were a lot of upset people that missed out.
Okay, bring a
My
friend.
impression is when they sold out. Yeah, they get like a free Thursday badge. Is that what it
Yeah,
is?
free. Bring a friend for free on Thursday. 20% off the
Okay.
MegaCon Orlando store. Complimentary express shipping of VIP passes within the contiguous United States. Ooh. Exclusive lithograph, limited edition MegaCon Orlando shirt or MegaCon Orlando bag, lanyard, limited edition collectible, 2 limited edition comics from a major publisher, special
Okay.
ticketed experience, 48-hour purchase guarantee. Okay, so I mean, you do get some stuff, but
So
they do fluff it up with some of the basic stuff too.
yeah. So here's what I want. How do I get some of my stuff in those bags? I
How
want to sell
do I
some
get
of
on
my
the land?
stuff. Yeah.
How do we get Meg to get on make
I'm gonna
one of those
every VIP gets a
man
coaster.
badges? How do we get one of those badges made? I know someone that can print the badges.
Yeah.
That's for sure. But
So
anyway, so let's get to what we're really getting at. Forget the cost; it's expensive. Whether you like it or not, it's expensive. But so get to what we were originally talking about before we started recording. Is
I mean,
if you're
so
dropping
for
600
me,
before you even walk in the door,
yeah. Like, what's your budget?
plus
Like, what are you
hotel, plus
spending?
parking.
Oh, you're dropping $1,000 almost guaranteed. If you're there for VIP for a full weekend, you're at least $1,000 before you walk in the door.
You're more than that. The hotel alone, even if you're a couple miles away, you're still eight
Yeah,
nine hundred
if
bucks
you're
because it's
getting a
4 days.
hotel,
A
and then
4 day show.
you're buying food. I don't know. I mean, that's not before you
Yeah.
walk in the door, but it's obscene. I mean, I, maybe it's just me being jealous. I wish I could just get a slice of that, but um, I can't help but feel like that. That 100% takes away from everyone in the room, at least a little.
Agreed.
So,
Agreed.
like, I guess maybe I just don't have any data. Like, what are people spending at shows? What am I missing?
That's gonna vary largely depending on the show. They're gonna spend more at a Megacon than they are at a SC Comic Con, for example. Just had to throw that in
Yeah,
there.
well, I
Sorry.
mean, well, I
Don't
think
tell
it's just one
Michelle
of
I
those
said that.
things where if you're spending $600 on a ticket, most of those people, from what I've seen, are there for panels and celebrities, meet and greets, whether it's autographs or photos or whatever. Um,
Here's a hot take.
hot take.
What is the point of going to a convention and sitting in a panel?
Um,
You're just sitting there. I mean,
as
unless you
someone
get to
that
ask a
doesn't
question or
attend
two.
panels, I don't know.
Yeah, but can't you
So
just watch
I
any? You
mean,
can watch
there's,
YouTube interviews online of these people. Do you really have to sit in the same room with them? Like you're not. It's not like you're
I
5 feet
mean,
away from them.
oh, it's to me probably something about being in the room with those people and these moments that happen that
I
are
mean, come on,
organic.
come on, come on,
It's like, why go to
come
a
on.
concert when you can listen to a CD?
A concert's different. Hearing music live from your favorite band is much different than I mean, maybe I just don't have like an actor or actress that I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to hear their voice. You know, I mean, they're
Yeah, no,
talking.
that's fair.
Like I have
Yeah,
heard that Jody Benson in her panels will sing "Part of Your World." Like that's cool. To me,
yeah.
that's cool. Like I'd like to hear that in person because that's that ties back to when Reese was little. So when she couldn't say her R's and she used to sing that song all the time. Sorry, Reese,
We
if you're
should have
listening.
her. We should have Reese sing it on the show.
Yeah, exactly.
Um, I think I I I don't get it because also I don't do panels. I I know
I need
people that
someone to
do and they
chime in and
enjoy
tell
them.
me. I need someone to chime in and tell me what the big deal is. I mean, unless
Yeah,
I don't again, unless you're getting like an exclusive, like, hey, we're dropping the trailer for the new season or the new movie, or but again, you're gonna hear it right after. Is it really that huge? Like, hey,
yeah. I mean, that
I'm the
does
new
happen. There are
villain.
those moments.
Yeah, but
I don't know if
that's
that
usually at
happens
like
at
a
Mega,
I don't know.
San Diego, New York territory.
I know in San Diego you definitely get a lot of that stuff, but it's like, hey, I'm the new villain in the next Star Wars series. Like, oh, let me tweet it, let me Instagram, like really? Come on. Who gives a crap, really?
Well,
Again,
like I said,
maybe it's just
we're
me.
not those people, so we don't know.
Yeah, maybe it's
I
just me. I
I
need
think it's
someone to
valid.
chime in and tell me what the big deal is.
And also, if you are an attendee and you are wanting to do those things, having so these big shows, you're not guaranteed to even get in, and sometimes you can wait for hours and hours.
Yeah.
So having like a definite spot that's a value.
So
Um,
I have a little story on this. So in 2000, I think it was like 8 or 9, Star Wars Celebration was in Orlando, and me and my buddy were huge Star Wars fans. We still are, but we were much bigger back then. And so we bought the 5-day pass or 4-day pass, whatever it was. We went to it was at the same place as Mega. Um,
mhm.
so we get there and like George Lucas is going to be this. I want to say this was Celebration 1. I think it was the first one, but I could be wrong. Don't at me on there, but it was, so it was like George Lucas. Basically everybody was there except Han Solo, Harrison Ford. But like Leia was there, Luke was there, George Lucas, like everybody, all the, Boba Fett was there, C3PO, Chewbacca. Anyway, so they had a panel and George Lucas was going to be there, right? So I was like, oh, I'm going to go because I was one of those people back then. I'm like, this is going to be cool. I get to see them all together, right? So that I get. But like if it's just one person up there talking, like big whoop de doo. But anyway, get to see all them together again, right? And
Yeah.
so we're waiting in line because I don't think they even had like the VIP where you get the special entrance or whatever. So you had to go get in line. And there's this huge line. I mean, there's, let's say 2,500 people for a thing that fits maybe 1,000, right? And so when you walk in, like it's a normal kind of venue where you can go left or right. When you walk in, you go left or right, and it circles around, and you go into your seats. Right, it brings you to the bottom, and you go to your seat. So they were funneling everybody off to the right. Literally, everybody was going to the right. And I go walking by. I'm just checking. Me and my buddy go walking by the front door just to see where it ends, because we're at the end of the line. We come around the front, and we're like, "Oh wow, the line's right here." So everybody's going to the right for this entrance, and there's obviously an entrance to the left. It's literally you walk in, you go left or right. They're funneling everybody right. So we walk up to the front. Nobody sees us, and literally we just go to the left. Nobody else comes down, right? So we go, we act like, I was like, hey, just act like we belong, act like we belong. And so come to find out, when we get to the bottom, like we go around the thing, we get down inside the whatever it is, I don't even know the word I'm thinking, in the theater. And so we go into where the front row area is. And I was like, all right, we got to be smart about this. We're not taking the front row because that's probably going to be reserved. So let's take the third row. So we go in the third row, right on the middle, and we sit down, just us two by ourselves. Everybody else is getting funneled to like the middle and the upper decks. Some usher, maybe a minute later walks over to us and they go, "Oh, are they already sending people in on this side?" And I look around and go, "Yeah." And they're like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah, for sure.
And I'm not even shitting you. 2 minutes later, people start funneling in. It was like perfect. So we were like literally third row. We got to watch that whole thing. It was really cool. So
That is good. It's I mean, honestly, at any of these shows, acting like you belong is
that's what I'm telling
90%
you.
of it.
So at that show, they did a thing from Celebration. You could go to MGM Studios, which I'll always call it MGM. I think it was still MGM back then, but they were closing down Star Tours, and they were going to redo the whole thing.
Is that when
And
they
so
were reverbing
left,
it to the HD
yeah,
stuff?
So they left it open for that weekend only. So that Saturday night, everybody who had a ticket to Celebration could get in there and stay late. And they were going to do a special light show with the fireworks for Star Wars. And then they were going to, George Lucas was going to be in the Indiana Jones show that they do. So
Whoa.
we go there, and do you know the Robot Chicken guys?
Yeah.
Like Joey Fatone's one of them, but then it's got the little redheaded guy. I can't think of his name. He's Scotty from Austin Powers. Yeah, Seth
Green.
Seth Green. Yes, Seth Green. Thank you. So he was there, and so he's with his group. There's like 4 or 5 kind of quote unquote celebrities. They weren't like big time names, but they were celebrities, and they're in this little group. And it was me and my friend Mickey, and one of his friends that he just saw at the show. And Seth Green and their group comes where we're watching the Star Wars light show, because it was going over the Great Movie Ride at the time, which again still doesn't exist anymore, but they were shooting it right there. And they kind of encircle us, right? And we're in there, and they have you could tell they had security looking around. And it's me, Mickey, and this, I can't remember this other guy's name. And I was like, dude, we're in. Just stay with them. Just stay in the group. Because it was like 20 people. Like, they're not going to remember all 20 people, the security guard, right? So I'm like, just act like we belong, just like we did earlier. Just act like we belong. So we're there, and then the other guy, the third guy, who's the third man? Anyway, the third guy, he starts taking out his phone, trying to do selfies and take pictures, and I'm like, dude, what are you doing? And of course, Seth Green saw them, and he was like, hey, Billy, to the security. He's like, I don't know how they got in here. And I'm like, we were in. Act like you belong. So anyway,
Ruined it. Yep.
That's a con job exclusive right there for you.
As opposed to me walking around the show with a selfie stick.
Oh, I was so frustrated. I was like, man, we were in. We could have, they had when we all left, they went to this back lot area where they probably got, some kind of something, whatever. But we got nothing.
Do whatever they want.
Yep. Anyway. So what else we got? Do we want to add any more to that? Because I know we rambled off topic, but
no, I think one thing,
what else
I would like
left,
to have
right?
conversations. I would like to have conversations with people about. I'd like to hear thoughts on all these. When I say rising costs, like all the costs are rising, but when you're talking about a $600 VIP, what do we think that's doing to the room? And also, I guess part of that is, I think something that I noticed in Indy was sometimes. What's good for the consumer, the attendee, kind of is in direct opposition to what's good for us as people trying to sell things. So
yeah, that's true.
How do you work around that? because I don't think you want to say, I don't think you want to work with that, but I think if you could work with it and try to do something with that, that's all we can do because prices are going to keep going up. People,
They're going to keep going up, right?
yeah, like, and they're going to try to make their shows better for their attendees as they should. So, like when you talk about a MegaCon, they it's not Dragon, obviously, but the community events that they have going on there now are as big as any other show. They have after hours stuff, special things, so it's good for attendees. But sometimes that might be like pulling people off the floor.
Yes, right. Or yeah, or just kind of outpricing them. So hey, I'll go, I'll look
Or yeah,
around. I got, $25, but I'm really just going to get a couple of autographs.
well, if you have a bunch of free events too, are you gonna
Yeah. Yeah,
worry
you can
about
go
spending your money?
just you can basically get to every panel essentially, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I don't really have any more to add. I don't know. I want to better understand where things are at with that.
Okay. I'm curious to get feedback on that too. I think there's a fine line, and I think that's kind of crossing it. But who are we to say? Because we're just behind the booth.
Who are we to say? Yeah,
Yeah,
we're just a part of the machine.
exactly. We're the carnies of a different kind of circus. So
Yeah,
last topic that we want to kind of go over is the expanded show floors. So what have you
yeah.
noticed? Is it good? Is it
Well, I
good
guess.
for us? Bad for us? When I say
Well,
us, I mean vendors.
yeah, and that's what I was talking about with Indy. I heard a lot of feedback from attendees. They were very happy with the bigger show floor. Like our aisles had to be 20 feet on either side of us. Like on the front and the side, one side was like 20 feet, and then the other one was like 10, 12, like pretty standard, but it's still very open. So I personally felt like the room never really got full, and you didn't have that energy kind of like going through the room. And they have the celebrities kind of on the outskirts, photo ops. They took up so much room. They were like vendors. A bunch of vendors were in a different section of the hall. I don't know
So
how
I
they
want to
did.
be clear. I want to be clear. Are you when you say expand? The floor has expanded. Is that like the width of the aisles, the amount of vendors, or just even the
Well, I
hall
think
size, or all of it?
In the case of Indy, I think it was both. A bunch of
Okay.
people got in for their first time that I was talking to. So I was under the impression that they have more booths, but also the space between all the booths was a lot bigger. It felt very open. They had registration up on the second floor, and that was one thing that a lot of people were not happy with. But outside of that, the show floor, a lot of it was just empty. So, like I said, it's not like one of those shows where you can go and everybody's like packed in tight, and there's a balance there. But I do think that having that wide open feeling makes the show feel dead. We were down. I know that a lot of people said that they were down. People said that they were doing better than ever. That's kind of like a personal thing, but I know for us last year, I'm pretty sure our spot was premium, and this year it was just kind of okay. We moved a little bit, um, but yeah, I don't know. I feel like sometimes we complain about a show without thinking
Yeah.
about how it comes from the other way. Because a lot of these things we complain about, I think if you zoom out and look at it from the big picture, a lot of these things are actually good for attendees, good for the show, good for the guests, whatever. And I think it's just I think we're the lowest on the totem pole.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
that's what makes shows that are run by people that have done vending or art or whatever, like being here at Cleveland, you can tell a big difference here at Cleveland with Alex running the show floor. And I think that's felt throughout the whole show floor.
Yeah. No, I can agree with that 100%. I'm just curious, like when you were saying how people were getting in for their first time for that show.
Hmm.
Now, remember FanX also underwent some changes.
Yep.
What's her name? What's her name left? I'm drawing a blank on her name because I'm under the gun.
Lexi.
She went over to FanX. Lexi, thank you. Lexi moved on, and now they have Casey, right? Or is it Katie? Casey or Katie? One of the
Katie.
two. Yeah. So now they have her. So I don't know how much that has to go. Are they, hey, we're new people, so we're expanding, or would they said they're doing things differently in terms of how they're filling the floor. So
Yeah, the layout was different. Like it opened up into Artist Alley, which I actually thought was pretty cool. It worked out really well for anybody in Artist Alley. I think that was a good call to switch it up some. I think everything on paper was a good idea, and I think she actually did a really good job laying that show out. But I just don't think it translated for a lot of people into their best show.
Okay.
But it's if you talk to the attendees, it was the best one they've been to.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it was. Yeah, we were along those. I know you and I talked about it, and that was that trended that way with us, which was nice. But it was out of nowhere, so that was kind of good.
Yeah, I think for us, we had such I think we just had all the stars align the last couple of years, and I think our expectations were because we were doing not even nearly, we were doing Megacon numbers there. And that's why I bragged on the show so hard for a few years. And I still think it's really well run. I think they can't help the loading dock issues. That's just going to be a thing there.
Yeah, and that's not the show's fault. That's just
That's not their
fault.
it's not their fault.
Yeah.
Everything there is handled really well. They always get guests and they get bodies in the door. So no complaints there. I do think that there's intangibles that affect the mood in the rooms.
Okay. Now, do you think overall that would hurt the floor? Just overall, I mean, I know one show could be different than the other, but just what are your thoughts overall? Do you think that affects the floor? Like, sometimes when they're, the wider aisles don't feel as busy when it is busy.
Yeah. Well, I think
But do you think that
for
affects
us, it
anything?
definitely felt that way. I think it's harder to get people's attention from 20 feet away than it is 10.
That's true.
And it's sometimes it's nice to slow people down. Speaking of Alex, he's on the run.
Say hi, Alex. Tell him welcome to the
Unapproved
podcast.
podcast appearance.
All right. I wonder if he has one of those VIP badges in his hand.
Probably. Yeah, I think it's one of those things where, like I said, you're 20 feet away, and if traffic doesn't ever build up, they're not slowing down. They're just gonna keep going, right?
Yeah. No, you're right.
It's just harder to get that attention, and sometimes if you can get some traffic in there, slow the room down a little bit, it forces people to see things maybe they wouldn't.
But then also a wider aisle means unless they went to a bigger hall, that means there's less vendors, right? Unless they expanded the hall.
The hall was bigger.
Okay.
They reconfigured everything.
Okay.
Yeah, that room is incredibly large.
And those wide aisles really don't make sense unless it's like a New York or a Dragon or a Mega. There's really no need for a 20-foot wall. Like C2 has that one aisle in the back and those other areas that are just so wide, and it's just like that's way too much. You don't need that. You don't need that much space.
So anybody on YouTube will be able to see that they do have one red carpet here. This show, attendance-wise, I believe is bigger than Indy. Could be wrong. It's at least comparable. So they have one main aisle going straight up the middle. It's 10 feet. And it's a Friday, and it feels. I mean, you got people. It's not crowded, but it feels vibrant. There's a lot of energy. And I just, I mean, honestly, and that could be affecting different people different ways. How many times you see somebody, if a show feels slow?
Uh-oh. What was that?
That, who knows? But if a show feels kind of slow, it's not that it's like something you should be doing, but how many times you catch people with frowny faces sitting on their phone behind their booth? Because it doesn't feel good.
Exactly.
And then that carries. That energy just reverberates everywhere.
100%. So 100%. We tell all our employees, just be up and engaging. That's all we ask. I don't want you sitting down, and I want you staring at your phone. I mean, it's one thing if you're sending a text or two. I understand. It's, That's just the way things are today. But yeah, you got to be engaged. You can't just be staring at your phone and go, "Hey, how you doing? Want to buy a print?" No, okay. Yeah, F off.
Yeah, want to hand me money?
Yeah,
I mean, that'd be cool.
yeah, that would be
Uh,
great. But it's just
but
not.
yeah, I just think there's a I don't know that it's a science. I think it is kind of an art, designing a show floor that feels good, that flows well, that kind of keeps people engaged. And also, you got to think if everybody's having to walk farther to the other thing, it's they lose interest along the way. Things aren't
Right.
engaging. I think it's a
Agree.
lot of stuff, but um, it's hard to argue with attendees having a good time and being happy that it wasn't so crowded.
Okay. Trying to think. Do we have anything else any knowledge we want to drop on
Knowledge we want to drop on them.
them?
Don't stay at the Marriott at Key Tower if you have a van.
Oh, why is that? Talk.
So this stupid. I don't know if you guys have heard of a thing called the NCAA March Madness tournament.
I
It
mean,
seems like
really,
everywhere
you're
we
gonna
go.
say how would anybody who's alive not? I mean, even if you don't know, if you don't follow sports, I'm sure you've heard of March Madness.
Exactly. So we have some underdogs. We have New Mexico staying at the same hotel as us, which
Oh,
is
nice.
fine. Last year we were in Indy, and the Gators stayed at our hotel, which is super sad when they lost. Never seen such sad kids coming back.
Yeah, and they're all
Um,
6'8".
yeah, they're all 7 foot tall people, like
Yeah,
7 foot tall teenagers crying.
yeah.
I don't know what to do in that situation, but because of this, uh, and I've never pulled status anywhere except for this weekend, and I was like, "Listen, this is obscene. I can't believe you're doing this to someone of my level." But they
My
refused to park the van in valet because the team buses are taking up all the spots.
oh no, oh no.
So I really hope New Mexico loses, and I'm not sorry. I hope they all go crying.
They're the Lobos, I think,
Because
right? I could be wrong
yeah,
there.
which is actually pretty cool, like big, like, and everybody's been pretty nice. But still hope they lose and they go home, and then I can make the valet people park my van.
Yeah, that would be nice. They
But
are the
but
Lobos. Yeah.
as of right now, don't stay at the Marriott Key Tower in Cleveland.
Okay.
Go to the Westin. They parked my van just fine.
One other thing about that, we did the Planet Comic Con one year when it was the same time as I think it was the Final Four or the Elite Eight. It was one of them. It was farther into the tournament, and the hotel we stayed at had two of the teams that were in at the time, and both of them lost. And at the time, wherever we went, I always had to stay at a hotel that had a Starbucks because Meg had to have her Starbucks in the morning. So it would be my
Yeah, sure.
routine for a number of years. I would wake up and either drive there or walk downstairs and get her Starbucks and come back up. And that day, the two teams that lost, they were happened to get their Starbucks at the exact same time. So there was literally like 38 people in line, and I just remember going, "I am so glad you guys lost. I hope your bus crashes because I got to wait in
Get
this dang
out of
line."
here. No, no, not that.
I
Just
said it at
leave.
the
Go
time.
back.
It didn't crash. They lived, so it's good. It was
Well,
okay.
that's good, I guess.
So, but anyway, it's neither
I'm
here nor
pulling
there.
for Michigan State. They're at a different hotel nearby. I hope they win out.
I'm pulling for FAU, but they didn't make it this year. They made the Final
Mm.
Four a couple years ago, but
Well, I will not normally say it, but I'm Clemson guy. So
oh no,
sorry for all your brackets.
I think they lost already. Believe it or not.
Yeah, to
Yeah,
Creighton.
yeah, exactly. The Blue Jays. So anyway, that's all we got. We're just gonna keep rambling while
That's
Jeremy
it. We're
walks around
just
the show
rambling.
floor.
Oh, also, check all the professional sports this time of year because I was very excited that there was not a Cavs game, but the Guardians is opening weekend. So
You mean the Redskins? Oh, the Indians.
yeah,
Yeah, the Cleveland
Cleveland
Indians.
baseball team.
Yeah. Okay. They were the
Whatever they're
Indians for
called.
100. They're Indians for over 100 years. It's gonna be hard for me to
Yeah.
change that name in my mind.
Well, it is what it is.
Yes, I'm a
But
senile old
opening
man.
weekend is either today or tomorrow, something like that. And I mean, honestly, if it's today and this is the crowd that they brought in, still that's crazy good.
Wait a minute. You were there all week and you didn't even get to catch a Cavs game? They haven't been playing? They had to have had a
No,
home
they
game.
they weren't here all week.
Oh my gosh, that's rare.
I checked. I actually would have gone to that.
Yeah, okay. Well, the Celtics are playing tonight. They're playing in Salt Lake City. So,
Oh, well, good luck with that.
yeah. And just so you know, the Celtics just sold for
Yeah, you got a new owner.
6.1 billion, and I'm very upset because I bid 6 billion
Well,
and
you
I
know,
lost
you know
out.
how much of that they're giving
I
back to
lost
their
out by 1
fans?
million.
$0.
I'm just mad I lost out by $1 million when I bid 6 billion. Dang it.
Well, it's unfortunate they didn't give you your second chance to go a little higher.
Yeah. Anyway, all right. We'll catch everybody next week or whenever we
Next
catch
week.
you. So, see ya.
Later, guys.